And we're live. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth as given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahuah. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you should not
You do not believe.
you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it's a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching on the camera, to the saints in the chat, to the saints scattered around the world that we don't know about. But no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Let's open up to Psalm 133. Whoa. Psalm 133. Oh,
I wish I had some crackers. You don't know that. Uh-uh.
mm-hmm.
Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious
He
ointment
said
upon the
how
head.
good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in what?
Unity.
In unity. That's the key word, in unit.
Without the why.
Keep going.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that
What
went
is he talking about when he say the precious ointment that's on the head that ran down to the beard? What is he talking about when he say that?
anointed.
He talking about the anointing, right? He said even as Aaron, you remember Aaron got anointed. When Moses put Aaron up, Aaron got anointed by Moses. Remember the Most High God, he anointed Moses by the Spirit. And then Moses had to anoint Aaron with the oil. Right? He talking about the anointing when he said that. Keep going. Watch this. He said, look, I want y'all to understand what he's saying. He's telling us unity of the brethren is as the ointment that was poured on Aaron. And what is the ointment poured on Aaron? What does that represent?
Anointed, chosen, Messiah.
That represents the anointing. It represents being chosen by the Most High God. So unifying with the brethren is just like being chosen by the Most High God, is what this is telling. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
As the dew of Hermon, but as even as Aaron's beard that went down into the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, as the as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion.
Mm-hmm.
For there Yahuah commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Right? So what this is telling us is unifying with the brethren is just like everlasting life. Right? This is the whole book. Is being in unity with the brethren. This is what the Most High God is after. Watching Psalm 1. This is Psalm chapter 1, verse 1. This is Psalm chapter 1, verse 1.
There's so many Psalms, I don't even know what one says. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly,
mm-hmm.
nor stands in the way of sinners,
What does it say when it say, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly"? What does that mean?
You don't take counsel from the ungodly.
Man, I ain't listening to these sinners.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't about to do. Hey, still, I'm not about to go to a sinner for some darn advice. Right? That's what it's saying. It's like, man, I'm not a bit. Look, sometimes sinners they think they got good intentions when they telling you stuff. Sometimes a sinner get. Sometimes you will complain to a sinner at work. Be like, man, I got emotion. Man, look, all you got to do is lie on your report. It ain't hard. Just put this. I did it. I got 2 promotions. They not telling you that because they want you to get fired. They not telling you that because they want to hurt you. They telling you that because that's what they did and they really think it worked. But am I gonna walk in that counsel? You lost your darn mind. I'm gonna tell the truth on my darn reports, and if I get a promotion, then praise the Lord. If I don't get a promotion, then praise the Lord. Keep going. Watch this.
Nor stands in the way of sinners, nor
That's right.
sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Mm-hmm.
But his delight is in the law of Yahuwah.
He said, "Man, look, if your delight is in the law of Yahuah, keep going."
And in his law does he meditate day and night.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
So look, hold on. If you meditate on the law day and night, you'll be like a tree planted where?
By the rivers of water.
By the rivers of water. And what else?
That bring forth his fruit in his season.
So hold on. What does that mean? You planted by the rivers of water and you bring forth your fruit in the season. What does that mean? He's not saying you are a tree. He said you're like the tree that's planted by a river of water that brings forth its fruit in its season. What is it talking about?
Be fruitful, you'll be taken care of.
Okay, keep going. Let's see.
His leaf also shall not wither. And
His okay,
whatsoever,
now we got more information. Now it tell us his leaf shall not wither.
and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
What type of tree is that? What type of tree is it that the leaf don't wither and it always bring forth its fruit? Let's see what tree that is. Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. The man trying to tell us the importance of unity, the importance of being together, having one mind, having one judgment, having one approach to things.
And he showed me a pure river of water of life.
This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. He said, he showed me a pure river of life. Watch
Water of
this.
life. Clear as crystal,
Mm-hmm.
proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
In the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river, was there the tree of life.
There was what?
The tree of life.
The tree of what?
Life.
And what happened with this tree of life?
Which bare 12 manner of fruits.
It brought how many fruit?
12 manner of fruits.
Oh my goodness gracious. Keep going.
And yielded her fruit every month.
Every month. She ain't never stopped yielding her fruit.
And the leaves of the tree,
what they do?
Were for the healing of the nations.
So what is Psalm 1 really telling you? It's saying, look, anybody who delight on the law, your butt is like the tree of life. And it makes sense because drop down in Revelations, what verse is it? It's towards the middle or the end. What's the last verse in Revelation 22?
21.
21. So what I'm looking for is probably like 17. You know what I'm saying? Probably like 16, 17. It should tell me about the tree of life again. Maybe it's further up, 9 maybe.
Mm-hmm. You told when he said, "He who does such and such can eat freely from the tree of life."
Yeah, there we go. That's what I want.
I gotta
Should be somewhere after the middle, like somewhere after 9.
see that overcomes.
If not, check all the way at the end.
Uh, It's a whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely.
I thought it was the
No,
tree
no,
of
no, no,
life.
no. Yeah, we'll do 14.
This is Revelation chapter 22 verse 14. Watch the book say.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that
That
they
hold on. Blessed are they that does what?
do his commandments.
Didn't Psalm 1 just tell us that the man who delight is the law and who meditates on that, he's gonna be like the man who's planted, or he gonna be like he's planted by the river. He gonna be like a tree that always gives his fruit and his leaf never faileth. Ain't that what it just told us? And now we see in the back of the book, it's saying the same thing. It say, listen, blessed are they that what?
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Okay.
that they might have right to the tree of life,
That they might have the right to the tree of life.
and may enter in through the gates into the city.
That's what unity gets us. If we unify around the word, if we unify around the man's commandment, that's what it gets us. It gets us access to the tree of life. This week in our reading, we read about the tree of life, right? Grab Genesis chapter 3. We read about the tree of life because we read what through Genesis 1 through
11.
11, right? Genesis 1 through 11 in this first week. So for everybody who watching who's not reading with us, try to catch up. We're gonna stay aligned with these Sabbath studies. Y'all willing at least. We're gonna stay aligned with these Sabbath studies as we read through the book. But we read this week about Adam and Eve. They had access to the tree of life, but they did not keep the commandment of the Most High God. This is Genesis chapter 3. Give me verse what, 21, 22? It's Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Watch what the book say.
And Yahuah God said, behold, the man is become as one of us.
Look, the man become as one of us. Ain't that what Satan said? Satan said, look, the serpent was talking to Eve. Serpent said, man, you won't surely die. You know what I'm saying? He said, God just know in the day that you eat of that tree, that you'll be like him, knowing good and evil. And what the Most High God come back and say? Look, the man has become like one of us. He confirmed it, right? Satan did tell a lie. When he said you will not surely die. That's what he lied about. Because watch what's about to happen right here.
Man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
I mean, the tree of life is for those who keep what?
Man,
That's for people who keep the commandments. With him breaking the commandments, it don't make sense for him to have access to that tree. So he said, you know what? He might put forth his hand and take of the tree of life. That don't make sense. What is he gonna do now?
and live forever.
Keep going.
Therefore, Yahuah God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
So now what did the Most High God just do? He separated Adam and Eve from the tree of life. At one point, because they were keeping the commandments, because they were doing what the Most High God said do, they were within his boundaries, within his statutes. For that reason, they had access to the tree of life freely. But when they stopped having that access is the moment they stopped keeping the commandments. Now there's division. The whole story of this book from the very beginning is talking about unity, but unity under one specific condition. We got to unify because we got the word and we going to follow the word and we all going to be in agreement about the word. We don't want to unify just because we got some crazy idea that we want to do. Right? Grab First Corinthians chapter 1 verse. Let's start at verse 1. First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 1.
Paul, called to be an apostle of Yahushua through the will of God, and Sosthenes our brother,
Mm-hmm.
unto the congregation of God which is at Corinth, to them that are sanctified in Yahushua, called to be saints, with all that in every place call upon the name of Yahushua our Lord, both theirs and ours.
Mm-hmm.
Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Master Yahushua. I thank my God always on your behalf for the grace of God which is given you by Yahushua,
Mm-hmm.
that in everything you are enriched by him in all utterance and in all knowledge, even as the testimony of the Messiah was confirmed in you,
He said, even as the testimony of the Messiah was confirmed in you. Watch this.
so that ye come behind in no gift, waiting for the coming of our Master Yahushua the Messiah,
Mm-hmm.
who shall also confirm you unto the end, that ye may be blameless in the day of our Master Yahushua. God is faithful, by whom you were called unto fellowship of his Son Yahushua our Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Now I beseech you,
He said,
brethren,
now I beseech you. What beseech me?
beg,
I'm begging you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I beg you. Let me see what else.
I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Master Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing.
He said, you all what?
Speak the same thing,
Speak the same thing. It don't make no sense for us to be speaking something different. What else?
and that there be no divisions among you,
And that there be no divisions among you.
but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
How do you get there without the word? How do you have the same mind and the same judgment if you don't have a listen, in my department, I got a team of people. I couldn't imagine getting everybody. I can't get everybody to do the same thing, and we got procedures. Without the procedures, without some type of follow, like something to follow, how can you get everybody on the same page? Even then, 'cause that means you have to talk to each person and keep watching and keep. It's not possible. So the only way for us to all be of the same mind is we all got to follow the same procedure. We all got to follow the same process. We all got to follow the same word. Unity is good. Clearly, we heard from the book that unity is good. The problem is some of us, if we try to unify around stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the word, right? You got Hebrew Israelites. They don't agree with each other. This Hebrew Israelite think he can have 17 wives. This one think you can't have no wives. You know what I'm saying? This Hebrew Israelite think Yahushua was born of a virgin. This one think Yahushua was born out of what's it called? Fornication. Virgin is somebody who haven't had sex yet. No, yeah, he was born from Mary who hadn't had sex. He is a virgin. We'll get there. You wasn't paying attention, right? But you look at the word. If you believe the word and you believe it as it's written, we'd all be on the same page. A lot of these boys don't believe the word, yet they still will unify under the guise of, well, at least you know that we Hebrew. At least you have the knowledge that the transatlantic slave trade targeted Hebrews as victims, not just regular old black people. And so, based off of that physical flesh factor, they devise a unity. Christians are similar. Christians, there's 33,000 different denominations. That means 33,000 different ways that Christians believe and disagree, right? And after that, many of them will unify not around what they believe and what the words say, but they unify around, well, at least we know that Jesus Christ died for our sins. That's all that matters. But that's not the word. The word is not saying just unify on that and nothing else matters. That you've never read that. Our unity has to be on the word. Otherwise, we'll all have the same judgment when it comes to us being Hebrews, or we'll all have the same judgment when it comes to Yahushua dying for us. But we won't have the same judgment when a man commit a sin or a woman commit a sin. We won't have the same judgment when it comes to how we choose and make decisions in our lives, which then presents a problem because that is going to cause disunity. That's going to cause fighting. That's going to cause all types of problems, which is exactly what you see. Go read the next verse. Watch this.
For it has been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you.
There are contentions among you. right? So if it's among you, what does that mean? If me and Azariah is standing next to each other and we fight, what do we know about this situation so far? There's a disagreement, but we're together. So unity is not about proximity. It's not about me standing next to somebody, me being physically next to them. That's not what unity is about. I can be next. Look, we can always be together and have zero unity. That's not what the Most High God is demanding of us, is to be close to one another. He's telling us to have the same mind, speak the same things, have the same judgment. What's a judgment? It's a commandment. It's a type of commandment, but what makes a judgment different from a statute?
It's a judgment.
What makes a judgment different from a statute? The statute is the barrier, right? So think of a statute as the borders of how far you can go. What is the judgment?
Judgment. What's the judgment?
But what is it? The judgment is a ruling, but what does that mean? The judgment is telling you how to handle when someone goes outside the boundary, right? So the statute, when the Most High God gives you a commandment that is a statute, it's telling you, do not cross this line. The judgment is telling you, if you cross the line, this is how we're going to fix it. This is how we're going to handle it, right? So when the book tells you, don't kill, and then it tells you the person who kills shall be stoned, don't kill is the statute. The person who kills shall be stoned is the judgment, right? Because it tells you how to handle it. So it's not having the same mind and the same judgment and speaking the same things. That doesn't mean that nobody makes a mistake. It only means that when a mistake is made, we all are in agreement on how we should handle that mistake. And that's what he's requiring of us. He's not requiring of us to be close to one another physically. He's not requiring us to all live in the same city. He's not requiring us. No. In fact, he tells us, he told Adam the exact opposite. Grab Genesis 1. It's Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
That's Zakai. Open the front door for Uncle Daniel. Yeah. Need two people to do one job.
This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Yeah, Sister Pam says division in families. And Yahuah told us that. He said, Yahuah didn't, we don't have to get it, but Yahuah didn't he tell us, he said, I didn't come here for peace. He said, I came here for division, did he? He said to put man at variance with his own home, with his own family, in other words. Right? And the reason that he's saying that is because he knows that once you choose one side, everybody else is going to choose another side, which is going to cause division. Unity is good. That's what we want. We want unity. Unity is going to take us somewhere. Unity is powerful for us. But you don't want to unify over something that's not of God. You want to unify. If you're going to unify, you got to unify to the Most High God. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness,
Uh-huh.
and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth.
Uh-huh.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
Yep.
God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth.
He said, and what?
And subdue it.
He said, and replenish the earth. That word replenish, it says replenish there. But when we think of the word replenish, you know what we think? Like, it used to be something there. It went away. Now we got to replace what we used to be there. But this is the creation of the world, so we know it wasn't there, nothing there before. We just read the whole chapter about him creating it out of nothing, right? So we know it was nothing there to replenish. Instead, this should be better translated as fill the earth, right? In other words, he's saying spread out, fill up. Earth, when we read earth in the King James, it's really saying land. So imagine when he said, go out and replenish the earth. What he's really saying is Go out and fill up the land. Have babies. He said multiply. So he said have a bunch of kids and fill up all the land. Now, do you think the Most High God wants unity here? He's asking for unity, but he's not asking for everybody to stay close together. He's saying, I want you unified in mind. I want you unified in spirit. I want you unified in your thoughts, in your judgment, in the way that you speak. I don't care about you being close or next to each other. Spread out. I want you to spread out. I want you to fill up the earth. I want you to fill up the land. I want you to spread out, scatter. But I want you unified. That's what the book is about. It's not about proximity. It's not about being close to somebody. All that stuff is fake. That's how you make stuff you look like it's unified. Hey, let's all come together. Let's all this, that, and other. That's part of our law too. But that's not what he's at. We can be together and still have division. So that doesn't solve our problem. And we can be apart and have unity. So it's about how you think and how you approach things. And the only way to be unified on that is, you gotta believe the book. You gotta believe the book and do exactly what it says. This is First Peter. First Peter chapter 2, give me verse 20. First Peter chapter 2, verse 20. Y'all moving around too much for me. Hey, come sit down. It's First Peter chapter 2, verse 20.
What glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your fault, you shall take it patiently? But if when you do well and
What's he
suffer
saying
for
there?
it,
He
you
said, hold
take
on.
it patiently.
He said, what glory is it if you be buffeted for your fault, if you take it patiently? What is he asking there?
You don't get no reward for getting buffeted for your faults because you deserve what happened to you, what you did.
Yeah, when he say buffeted, it means somebody hitting you, right? So it's like a punishment, right? So if Zakai do something,
You
excuse
don't
me,
get no
if
glory in it.
Zakai do something wrong, and I whoop his butt, right? Boy, I told your butt not to go outside, not catch him outside. I said, all right, get your butt in here and let me whoop your butt. So I get to whooping his butt, yak, 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 whooping that butt, right? Then after that, he take it. He like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take that. I did that. You know what I'm saying? I did that. I messed up. And so he take it with patience. You know what I'm saying? He don't complain. He like, I messed up. I'm taking it. He said, what's the question? What? Verse 20.
But what glory is it?
He said, what glory is that? Does Zakai deserve glory for that? No. He took the punishment that he deserved. That's not glory. Now, let's turn it around, right? Let's turn it around. Let's say I'm just a mean dad. I had a bad day at work, right? I saw Zakai, and when I saw Zakai, he wasn't doing nothing wrong, but because I had a mean day at work, a bad day at work, and I'm a mean dad, I took my belt off and I said, I'm whooping your butt. To take off the anger that I got at work, I wanted to take it out on him. And when I whooped him, Zakai ain't say nothing. He took his whooping and walked away. Now does he have glory?
Yeah.
Now he got glory because he took a whooping that he didn't deserve, that wasn't supposed to be his. So now he's in the right. Guess what? When somebody hear about that, when somebody say, Tasha, walk in the door. Why are you crying, boy? Just got a whooping today. What you do? Honestly, nothing. But it's okay. I took it. You know what I'm saying? Dad had a bad day. Who you think the heat gonna be on? Oh, Tasha coming and kicking in the door. What? Hey, right? That's because he has the glory in that situation. If you flip it around, he crying, same situation. She come in, why you crying? Oh, I'm outside, wasn't supposed to be outside. Dad whooped my butt. baby, you shouldn't have been outside. You don't have no glory in that situation. Nobody gonna come to you. Nobody gonna honor you in the first situation. Listen, if you take a punishment that you didn't deserve and you ain't kicking, you ain't you just take the punishment, people gonna look at you and be like, well, I couldn't do nothing like that. I didn't even deserve that. And you just took it. Nah, man, I could never do nothing like that. That's glory. He's asking the question. He said, what glory is it for you to be buffeted for your own fault? Keep going. Watch this.
What glory is it when you be buffeted for your faults? You shall take it patiently. But if when you do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God.
That's right.
For even hereunto were ye called, because the Messiah also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Right. So he's telling us the Messiah suffered for us. The sister asked a question. She said, when it comes to unity, you know what I'm saying? Will we all kind of move the same way, have the same behavior? And you know what I'm saying? Like, we can have unity right now. The thing that the misconception sometimes that a lot of these people that don't understand the book, they had this idea that like the Bible is so strict that you can't do nothing. But it's like that's not true. We can do whatever we want to do. We just can't sin. And it's not like everything you do is a sin. It's very specific sins that you can read about in Mark 7, in Ephesians 5, in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, in Revelation chapter 22, and in Galatians chapter 5. You can read about all the sins in those places. And I know it sounds like a lot, but all those is repeating pretty much the same thing. Right? Those are not, we don't have a ton of sin. Like, just don't kill nobody. Stop lying. Pretty much everything in your mind that you already know is wrong, don't do it. It ain't like the stuff the Bible ain't. It ain't telling you nothing grand. Like, oh, the one that's like the most tricky is like you ain't supposed to be a part of a denomination. It's some people I can understand. You don't understand that one. You don't know that one. That, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't supposed to say, I'm a Baptist. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Just sit your butt down and call yourself. Read something and call yourself what you read. Why you gotta come up with something new? That's what they be saying about to me at work. I be understanding them too. Cause at work, I always want to come up with something new. You know what I'm saying? My boss be looking at me, be like, a million banks have solved this problem. Why do you want to come up with a new way to solve it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, well, listen, I ain't worked for a million banks. I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have to come up with something new. It's easy money. We call ourselves disciples. We call ourselves saints. We call ourselves believers. Whatever the books say, that's what we call ourselves. I could understand if you didn't know that, you know what I'm saying, having a denomination was a sin. But other than that, for the most part, this stuff is pretty straightforward stuff. It's really not that deep. So outside of that, to answer the sister question, the way it would look is people would be behaving however they want to behave. But the way it would look is when you sin or when somebody sins, we all know how that sin should be handled, and we all in agreement on how that should be handled. We not sitting here fighting with each other and holding grudges against each other without knowing somebody might have fight and somebody might hold a grudge. But we all look at that situation the same way and say, we all know this is wrong and that's right. That's what it looks like. It don't mean that people won't make mistakes. It just means that as a collective, even after we make the mistake, we're like, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else said, yeah, you was wrong. And that's it. We all on the same page about everything that's happening. That can happen now. That's not no like we have to wait to the kingdom stuff. That's where we have to get now. We have to have factions of people, small groups of people that have that way of thinking now. It won't look too different than what we see on most days and how we live on most days. But you can't get there unless you have an understanding of the word. And that's what the Most High God has to do for us. Right? He has to continue to build us up until we have an understanding of the word. What you got? No, in the kingdom we live forever. Most High God, you know what I'm saying? For those of us that serve the Most High God in this life, and then we die, he gonna resurrect us. He gonna bring us back from the dead. We gonna live forever. Ain't gonna be no more death in the kingdom. If you inside of the kingdom, ain't gonna be no more death. Now outside of the kingdom, that's where all the death is. And you know how you end up outside of the kingdom? You sin. You ain't doing the stuff that you read in Revelation chapter 22, in Galatians chapter 5, Ephesians chapter 5, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, or which one I'm missing? Mark
Mark
chapter
7.
7. Philippines. You know what I'm saying? What you got? No, I think he lived longer than that.
He's like 900.
Yeah, I think he lived longer than that. He lived about 500 some years before the flood, until the flood happened. But then after that, after the flood, he lived even longer. This is keep going. We in Second Peter, First Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is First Peter chapter 2. What verse?
21.
It's First Peter chapter 2 verse 21. Watch what the book says.
For even hereunto were you called, because the Messiah also suffered for us, leaving us as an example that ye should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither
He
was
said, look,
guile found in his mouth.
he said, Yahuah did no sin, neither was he running his mouth. Watch this. Keep going.
Who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judged righteously.
What he's saying is, when he was reviled, in other words, when people were saying, y'all remember the God, we ain't got to get it, but the gospel told us that they buffeted him. They smacked him across his face. They spit in his face. They're telling him, you know what I'm saying, mocking him. Yeah, son of God, why don't you get yourself off that cross? You know what I'm saying? You the one, ain't you? Get yourself off the cross. Here, let me nail you up there. Go ahead, jump on down, boy. Oh, son of God, you are. They mocked the man. At no point do we read in the gospel how Yahuah said, I had enough. You ever did that? You never seen it. He don't lose his cool. He not going off. He not saying, you know what, I don't deserve this. He knows he don't deserve it. And you know what the man said? Man, forgive him. And it's genuine. It's different from, look, people be saying that now. It's all right. They did that to me, but they don't know who they doing it to. I'm God's child. People be running their mouth now, but it's not genuine when they say it. They can't wait to get back at your butt, to be petty against your butt. They can't wait for their chance. They just ain't got it in that moment. When people say that stuff today, it's just because I have nothing on you in this moment. But wait until I get the upper hand. I'm going to be a petty meister. Right? When Yahuah did it, it's genuine. He literally is looking like, please forgive him, because I understand what's about that. I know what's about to happen to your butt. Watch what Peter said that last part.
Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Watch this.
Who, when he was reviled not again.
Man, when they were talking mess to him, he didn't talk mess back. Watch this.
When he suffered, he threatened not.
Look, when they were buffeting him and smacking him and spitting in his face, he didn't go back to him. Hey, if I get down from here, I'm going to whoop y'all butt. I'm going to whoop all y'all. He didn't say none of that. He didn't threaten them back. Watch this.
But committed himself to him that judges righteously.
He only committed himself to him who judges righteously. What does that mean?
Committed himself to God.
He committed himself to God. And he said, God, you'll handle this the right way. That's perfection. What we talking about there is perfection. That is what if we could have that in our mind, yeah, we gonna suffer. But what Peter is trying to tell us is, man, by suffering in that way, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. By suffering in that way and by committing yourself to the Most High God, you're going to be all right. That shows you that unity is not about proximity. Everybody who was threatening Yahuah was in his land during the Passover, right? They were all in the same place, but they weren't unified by mind. They could all sit there and say, yeah, we keeping the law. We here for the Passover. But guess what? They weren't keeping the weightier parts of the law. So therefore, they're not keeping the law. It's not, we can't just be unified in in observation where people can see it. We have to be unified in mind, our thoughts. We have to follow the word. I don't have to worry about what Max is thinking about if I'm following the word and I trust that he following the word. All I got to do is my part, which is follow the word. If we do this stuff will line up. The Most High God will handle the rest of it. He will separate from us those people that are not like us. That's why Yahuah is not saying, Yahuah is not trying to fix this problem himself. He said, you know what? I'm just going to commit myself to the Most High God. Because I know he'll judge it righteously. And by him judging it righteously, somebody going to be separated over here. Somebody going to be separated over there. Right? Who Yahuah get that from? What about David? Let me see. Go give me first Samuel verse 6 I'm sorry, First Samuel chapter 16. Y'all remember David was going to war with his son? David had chapter 16. David had a son named Absalom. Right? He had a son named Absalom.
In 2 Samuel?
First. Is it first? Is it second?
Yeah, I don't think that's 1 Samuel.
Oh, 2 Samuel. Yeah, you're right. Second Samuel chapter 16. But he had a son named Absalom. And his son named Absalom started fighting with his own dad to become king. So he started trying to go to war with his own dad. And David at this point in life, I mean, he just depressed because David had made some mistakes. He did some stuff, rebelled against the Most High God himself, right? And he knows that that's like looming over him as a judgment from the Most High God. And now his own son is against him, and he's fighting against his son. So he's in a place where he's low, he's depressed, he's sad, right? And watch what happened to the man. Jump on down to verse 5.
16.
This is second Samuel verse 16, chapter 16, verse 5.
And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, there came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei.
Right? So remember, Saul was the king that came before David. Right? David was the servant of Saul. And Saul used to try to kill David. And David loved him. David had an opportunity to kill Saul a couple times. And you know what he said? I ain't going to do it because that's Yahuah's anointed. He said, I would never disrespect, because that's against the law. I would never disrespect the anointed of Yahuah. Right? So David said, I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to get at him. I'm not going to disrespect the man. Even though Saul was trying to kill David. Right? Now watch how things change.
When King David came to Bahurim, behold, there came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David, at all the servants of King David, and all the people and the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. Yahuah has returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And Yahuah has delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom your son. And behold, you are taken to thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man.
Right? So now this is what Shimei is saying to the king. David is the king. So remember, when David was the servant of Saul, Saul was trying to kill David, and David would never open up his mouth disrespectful to the king. He would never try to hurt the king. He'd never throw stones at the king. Now you got Shimei, who's a relative to Saul. He picking up stones and throwing it at David and all his soldiers. David surrounded, like, you know how the president be surrounded by the dudes in the black suit, the Secret Service. That's how David was. David was surrounded by people, you know what I'm saying, strong fighters. You know what I'm saying? These boys is bad boys. You know what I'm saying? David surrounded by David a little older now. So, you know, he walking around, he's surrounded by these boys. Then stones start coming. They blocking the stones. Like, man, what's going on? Hey, everybody, what's going on with this boy? Watch what they say.
And then Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, said unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my master the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head.
Kill this boy right now. They blocking the stones. They slapping the stones away. boy talking like that, man? What you talking? Just give me the word. I'll go over there and kill him right now. I'll knock him off right now. He telling them, watch what David say to him.
And the king said,
what you think? First of all, what y'all think David gonna say? Go get him? Pop him? Knock his head off? Watch this.
and the king said, what have I to do with you, you sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because Yahuah has said unto him, curse David. Who shall then say, why hast thou done so? And David said to Abishai and to all his servants, behold, my son, which came forth out of my bowels, seek my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone, and let him curse, for Yahuah has bidden him.
For what?
Yahuah has bidden him.
Listen, he put himself in the hands of Yahuah. He's saying, listen, if this is happening, then guess who must made it happen? God. He not looking at it at he not looking at it personally. That's what our problem is. People do stuff to it and we take it personal. We look at it and we say, this person intended to do this to me, and I can't believe it. I should mean more to them than that. But our battle is with what?
Not with flesh and blood.
We ain't battling each other. If you think you battling the person that you see in front of you, you've already lost. You got to break that in your mindset. You've already lost if you think the person that you see right in front of you is the person you fighting with. It was like Zakai. You know what I'm saying? Zakai got into a little fight at one of the basketball games. The boy came over, pulled the ball, three of the boy came over to us. They said, Zakai said, I was just weaving them things, Dad. You know what I'm saying? I was just weaving them things. Because he looking at it like, I'm not about to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to fight you. You got to have a mindset, well, I'm not fighting with y'all. Because by saying I'm not fighting with the flesh and blood in front of me, that's saying I am fighting with the spirits that's behind it. When you think you fighting with the flesh and blood, you really not fighting the spirit. The spirits are kicking your butt. But when you resist fighting with the flesh and blood, now you going to war with the spirit. David is looking at this, and David is like, man, look, I don't have no beef with him. I know why this stuff is happening to me. The Most High God told me, he said, because I sin this way, my whole family going to be against me, and it's going to be a public thing. He looking at this like, the Most High God is doing this to me. And he doing this to me, why? Because I messed up. His whole perspective is different. And guess what happened to Shimei later in Shimei's life? Got his butt clipped. Easy money. Guess by who?
Son.
David's son. David's son. It's all going to happen in due time. We just can't rush it. Right? We got to wait for the Most High God's timing. That's what Yahuah did. That's what David did. That's what we have to do. Right? And there's many, we can go throughout the book, many men of God that did different variations of this. But that's how it goes. The Most High God will separate Shimei from David. What you think happened after this? He yelling, he doing all this stuff. David kept going, and Shimei went away. Then David got super old, and his son Solomon, after David died, said, hey, Shimei, you got one last chance, boy. You stay your butt in this town and do not leave ever. He separated them and told him, you have to stay there. And when Shimei left, guess what happened? Okay, now I'm going to kill your butt. I was going to let you live if you stayed right there, but you didn't listen. Now I'm going to kill your butt. And he killed him. As the king, he put that judgment in place. He put him in jail. He escaped out of jail. Now that's punishable by death. What you did already was punishable by death. My dad told me, just relax on it. So I'm going to relax on it. Now I'm going to kill your butt. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen because David left room for the Most High God to handle it. Yah will separate the sinners, right? He'll physically remove the sinners from us. But even when we're in the midst of sinners, we have to separate ourselves spiritually. Our behavior has to tell a different story from the people that's around us. If they smoking next to you, then you don't need to be in the way of that smoke. If they drinking next to you, then you don't need to be drinking with a bottle in your hand. Anything that the rest of these people doing, it don't need to look like sin. Even if you got to be in the proximity of it, it don't need to look like sin with you. They should know by your behavior, by the way that you talk, by the way that you think, that you are different. And God will take care of the rest. It don't matter what they say. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna say you weird. A lot of times people look at us because we behave the way we do. They automatically assume we judge them. They automatically assume that we saying we better than them. And we are. You keep look, I obey the most high God, you don't obey the most high God. What I'm supposed to pretend and say I'm not better? Book say, man who obeys the most high God live forever. Book say, man who disobeys the most high God burns forever. I'm supposed to act like, no, we're all the same. No, that'd be crazy. You better go ask a Christian to tell you that. I ain't telling you that mess. We all got the same opportunity to live. We all got the same opportunity to turn away. But at this very moment, if I'm serving the Most High God and you not, I'm in a better position. That's just how it is. I'm in a better position. We be trying to act like what we doing ain't the right thing. What, I'm supposed to be ashamed? No, I'm doing it because I believe in what I'm doing. Most High God will separate from us the people who 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 wrong us, or the people who do the wrong thing, or he'll correct it. That's it. But he will handle it. Like, he will make sure that if it's something that don't fit the unity, that he'll take care of it. It happens over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing that happened. What do you think happened with Cain? You got a whole little family. You got Adam, you got Eve, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Abel and you got Cain. What Cain do? Pop out, murk this brother. Bow. You know what I'm saying? Got him. Bow. Quick. Right? Killed him. You thought Cain was gonna be able to just kick it? The Most High God didn't kill Cain. He had mercy on Cain. But he didn't let him kick it. He didn't let him just say, oh yeah, everybody chill. No, Adam, Eve, y'all stay here. Cain, you go over there. Let's get this. This Genesis chapter 4. Jump on down to like verse 4. This Genesis chapter 4. Give me verse 4.
Yeah, Genesis what?
Genesis 4:4.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
Jump on down to 8.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
Killed him, just like that. Keep going. Watch this.
And Yahuah said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cries unto me from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Mm-hmm.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth.
He said, what? Fugitive and a vagabond. Watch this. Keep going.
And Cain said unto Yahuah, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth,
That's right.
and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that finds me shall slay me.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
So the Most High God protected him. Right? He said, listen, I know, look, Cain complained. Cain said, look, what you doing to me, that's too much. Right? I know I killed my brother, but it's too much to tell me I just got to walk around. He's like, listen, you got to have a little mercy on me. Most High God say, I know. I get it. I tell you what, anybody who kill you, let it be known that 7 times what happened to you is going to happen to them. So what you think? Well, we'll keep reading. Watch this.
And Yahuah set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
So he put a sign on Cain, a mark on Cain, that made it known to everybody that if you kill me 7 times, whatever happened to me is going to happen to you. A lot of times people misunderstand. Cain get a bad rap,
Yeah.
right? His whole family get a bad rap. A lot of times people misunderstand. People look at the mark of Cain as if it's a curse. That's how people look at it. People like, well, Cain was cursed, so he got the mark. That's not what the mark was. The mark was letting you know, yeah, touch me if you want to, boy. God got me. That's what the mark was. The mark was saying, if you touch me, God is going to get you. You heard about what happened to me, right? Where I had to go out. Well, it's going to be 7 times worse if you touch me. So everybody looking like, man, all right, I'm going to let you slide then. Right? Because what you think happened, you know Cain and Abel weren't the only brothers, right? So what you think the other brothers were looking at? How you think they were looking at Cain after he killed Abel? Abel was my man. You don't think they was out there like, I'm gonna catch Cain slip. I'm gonna knock him off when I see him. They trying to catch him flip. Most of our guys like, I know they're gonna get you. Especially if I put you out there, I know they're gonna get you. Don't even worry about it. Let me put this mark on you now. You know what I'm saying? Put a little mark. Now let it be known, everybody. If you touch him, got this mark, it's gonna be 7 times as bad for you. You might want to leave him alone. Everybody left Cain alone. Like, no, man, I ain't gonna mess with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him live. He lucky he got God on his side. Right? That's what happened. But watch where Cain had to go.
And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuah and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden.
He separated from Yahuah. Because in your mind, you read this story and you thinking, man, Cain killed Abel. But no, Cain killed Yahushua. That's who Cain killed. He killed Yahushua. So you have to get it through your head that when we obey Yah and we commit ourselves to Yah, when somebody wrong us, who are they wronging? They wronging God. If we present ourselves after the manner of the Most High God and people offend us, who are they offending? They offending God. Why do you think God says the vengeance is mine? Because it when you doing what you're supposed to do, oh, it's no longer about, you know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do. It never has anything to do with the flesh and blood. In the same way that Paul is telling us the battles with flesh and blood, the spirits are behind the person that's trying to wrong you. That's who you have a battle with. So now if the spirit that's behind you that keeps you doing right and they trying to fight with you, who are they fighting with? They fighting God. This is John 15, real quick. This is John chapter 15. Give me verse 18. John chapter 15, give me verse 18. After that, we got to go to Matthew. John chapter 15, verse 18. Then we're going to go to Matthew chapter 25. Show y'all something real quick. It's John chapter 15, verse 18.
If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you.
Uh-huh.
If you were of the world would love his own.
Uh-huh.
But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his master.
Look, man, you can only be as good as your master. Watch this.
If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
Why?
If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also.
Uh-huh.
But these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me.
Because they don't know God, they hate you. It's not because they not fighting against you when you're doing the right thing now. Right? It goes back to what Peter said. If a man get buffeted for his own fault, it ain't no glory in that. You know what I'm saying? But when you doing the right thing and you feel, man, I can never get no love here. Don't nobody appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I put on for the Most High God, the way I suffer, I always take, you know what I'm saying? I always take the low end, or what's it called? What's it called?
High road.
The high road. I always take the high road. Always, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, don't nobody. When that is your thought and your feeling, reprogram and say, oh, these people fighting against God. These people, because it changes how you look at it at that point. If you know, like it's a fair one if it's me and you. If it's me and you fighting, that's a fair one. You know what I'm saying? If I take an L, yeah, I might lose. If you take an L, yeah, you might lose. That's a fair one. If somebody fighting against, they won't win. You know they won't win if they fighting against God. So when you start to look at it like, oh, you fighting against God, then it become like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't. Oh man, that's how Yahuah felt. Yahuah was saying, give them, man. They don't know what they're doing. Like, they don't know by killing me, they killing you. They don't know what they're doing. Cain thought he killed Abel. He didn't realize, oh, I killed God. I got to fight with God. And even then, God looking at him like, man, he don't know what he's doing. Put this mark on him. Put this mark on him. He don't know what he's doing. He don't even got enough context to even understand what's happening right now. Put this mark on him. Because that's the God that we serve. We serve a merciful God that even when you kill him, he forgives you. And we hold on to all this stuff in our heart about baby stuff. Baby stuff. Somebody bumped into it. Man, you stepped on my shoe? I've held grudges about people stepping on my shoe for years. I bet not ever see him again. It was a dude that broke my shirt. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, because I let him slide there. And I'm looking like, but it's hard to come down. All of a sudden, I'm looking like, man, but something should happen. Something should happen. I just feel like something should happen. It took me months to let go of that. He wasn't no gangster or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no like, I was never into that. I ain't no bully or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he's a cool dude. But just, you know what I'm saying? He just wasn't in the area of mine. So I'm looking like, but at the same time, something should happen. You gotta let it's silly stuff we be beefing over and going at it with each other over. And it causes division. But we don't want to be the cause of division. We either want them to divide themselves or we want Yah to divide them. We don't want to be the cause of division. Grab Matthew chapter 25 real quick.
We did read John.
Huh? Yeah, we read John chapter 18.
15. Oh, yeah.
I mean chapter 15, verse 18. Mm-hmm. Give me verse 31. In Matthew chapter 25, give me verse 31.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Watch this.
And before him shall be gathered all nations.
Okay.
And he shall separate them one
He
from another.
gonna do what now?
Separate them one from another.
Look how he separate them one from another, and watch what's gonna happen.
As a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats.
Okay.
He shall set up the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
Okay, the sheep gonna be on the right hand, the goat's gonna be on the left. I wonder why. Let's see.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Why in the world we get to inherit the kingdom that was prepared from us from the foundation of the world? I wonder why. Let's hear about it.
For I was a hungered and you gave me meat.
Y'all said I was hungry and you gave me food. Watch this.
I was thirsty and you gave me drink.
Oh, okay.
I was a stranger and you took me in.
Uh-huh.
Naked and you clothed me.
Uh-huh.
I was sick and you visited me.
And what they gonna ask?
I was in prison and you came unto me.
Okay.
Then shall the righteous answer him, saying,
Look,
Lord,
the righteous people gonna answer him like, huh? Watch him.
When saw we thee a hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee?
When have we saw? I've never met you in the person. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people have never met Yahushua in person. We just heard about you and people preached about you and we obeyed you. I've never seen you hungry anywhere, Yahushua. In fact, I would have loved to see you hungry, but I never did. When did this happen? Watch what Yahushua tell him.
Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
So who you think you fighting against? Who you think these people fighting against when you obey God? When you do what you're supposed to do, these people are fighting against him. In the same way, when you help somebody out, when you get somebody a glass of water, if they serve the Most High God, you're not doing it for them. You've done it for Yahushua. We have to change our mindset on a lot of this stuff. Because if we do, it becomes clear what the real fight is. It positions us to be successful in the walk that we have. It positions us to not be distracted by all this stuff. That's what the game is. The game is a distraction, keep us all disoriented and moving around and focus on the stuff that we ain't got no business focus on. Like that's the game. We can enjoy life because we can do whatever we want to do. All we got to do is keep ourselves protected from sinning. And if we do that, then we on the right hand with the sheep. On the left hand is the goat. Tell us about the goats.
Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Mm-hmm.
For I was hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and you visited me not.
Right? So now the things that they didn't do, they don't realize it. They thought they were just dealing with, you know what I'm saying, just dealing with random people. No, that was the Most High God. That's Yahushua. Why? Because you're dealing with people that obey him. If you got somebody who's hungry, who's commending themselves to the Most High God, and they say, you know what? No, I'm not gonna steal to get food. I'll just sit here hungry. I'll wait my turn. I think God is gonna take care of me. And you walk past them, right? And they hungry, and you say, man, I ain't eating that. You know what I'm saying? He think he better than me. He always, you know what I'm saying? He always preaching and talking down to me. He always, you know what I'm saying? He always this, that, and the other. I ain't doing no. I'm not. I'm gonna keep walking. Guess who you just did that to? You think you did it to Joe Blow? No, you did it to Yahushua. And the man is gonna put you in the hellfire for that. The battle is not with flesh and blood, man. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? We can't even. We gotta like program ourselves to not even see that thing. Otherwise, you're gonna be on the left with the goats. You know where the goats gonna go, right? The goats is the scapegoat. Grab Leviticus 16. Real quick, Leviticus chapter 16. Give me verse 7. Mm-hmm. Leviticus chapter 16, verse 7. It's Leviticus chapter 16, verse 7. On the Day of Atonement, it's a day called the Day of Atonement. On the Day of Atonement, we have two goats, right? We had to get two goats. The high priest, he had to get two goats, and then he cast lots on the goats. Right? It's part of the rituals that we kept every year on one day called the Day of Atonement. It's the seventh day. The 10th day of the seventh month. Every year on the 10th day of the seventh month, that's what we did. Right? Watch what the book says. This is Leviticus chapter 16, verse 7.
And he shall take the two goats and present them before Yahuwah at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the two goats, one lot for Yahuwah and the other lot for the scapegoat. And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which Yahuwah's lot fell, and over him for a sin offering. But the goat on the which the lot fell to be the scapegoat shall be presented alive before Yahuah to make an atonement with him,
right?
and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering,
That's
which is
good. So if you look at it, you got two goats. You cast lots, right? One lot is gonna fall on the sin offering. That's Abel, right? That's Abel. One goat has to die. The other goat has to be sent into the wilderness. That's Cain. He has to be a vagabond. This is the order that the Most High God set up. You can choose how you want this separation to be, right? But Yah will make the separation. Yah will put one and send them off if we let him do it. If we try to do it, then we become the division. And that's going to make us be sent off with the goat. That's going to put us on the left-hand side. Grab Revelation chapter 20. Yahuah already told us in Matthew where the goats go. You know what I'm saying? They go to the fire. I just want to show y'all the big goat. You know what I'm saying? It's the big goat. You know, they say greatest all the time. It's a different type of goat. You know what I'm saying? It's the big goat here. Let me show y'all what happened to the big goat. It's Revelation chapter 20, verse 1.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Yep.
Cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
He put him
And
in the
after that,
wilderness.
he must be loosed for a season, for a little season.
He put him in the wilderness. Right? Satan is the scapegoat. Part of what Aaron had to do is he had to put his hands on top of the head of the scapegoat. And when he put his hands on there, he put all the sins of the people on that goat. And after that, somebody had to send the goat all the way around. So the same thing is happening here. All the sins of the people was on Satan because he deceived the people, right? So then what's happening now is an angel had to take him. Just like a man who is not the priest had to take, you know what I'm saying, the scapegoat and take him to the wilderness. The angel had to take him and put him inside of the bottomless pit. Right? But after that, Satan ends up going into the fire. And that's where all the goats are going to go. Everybody who's not on the right hand of the Messiah, that's where you're going to go. Our mindset got to say, well, let that happen to anybody who choose to be over there. I don't want to create the division. Instead, we got to create unity. Right? The Most High God, he can preserve us if we stay in our position. He can preserve us like as long as we focus. He knows how to separate like the righteous from the unrighteous. He knows how to do it. He's very good at it. You know what I'm saying? Watch what Peter says. Second Peter. It's Second Peter chapter 2. Second Peter chapter 2. Give me verse 4.
For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly,
Right? So
and,
now he's talking about Noah.
and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly,
Mm-hmm.
and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Watch what he said.
For that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yahuah knows how to deliver
Yahuah knows what?
how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished.
If we believe that, just know, I want y'all to look. if we believe that, that should change how we see the world. Right? If we believe that, oh, he knows how to deliver me, you know what I'm saying? And he knows how to reserve the punishment for the people who against me and against the righteous. He knows how to handle this situation. Then that should refocus us and say, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Understood. Let me go worry about something I need to worry about. Let me worry about keeping myself together. Let me worry about obeying this book. Let me worry about loving my brother. Let me worry about all the stuff that I'm supposed to. Because that is what happened with Noah. Noah was in the world. You think Noah was like nobody around Noah was sinning? That ain't the impression we get from grab Genesis 6. That's not the impression I get from Genesis 6. This is Genesis chapter 6. Give me verse 6. It's Genesis 6, verse 6.
And it repented Yahuah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Uh-huh.
And Yahuah said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowls of the air.
Uh-huh.
For it repenteth me that I have made them.
Watch this.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahuah.
Right. So it didn't look like, look, he said all these people was wicked to the point that I got to turn myself around from this whole creation. In other words, I got to destroy it. So when you say repent, pretty much you saying I'm doing the opposite. So when I say I created the world, what's the opposite of that? Destroy the world. That's why he's saying it repented me that I created the world. In other words, I got to turn around and do the opposite of what I created. Now I got to destroy the world. But then he looked over at Noah. He was looking like, but Noah found grace in this sight. That means in the midst of all the chaos, he's in it. He's in the middle of it. But y'all know how to separate it. Sometimes we be feeling like y'all forgot us. we be looking like, man, he don't even see me down here. Because that's how it feels. When you dealing with something, it's like, man, that's how it feels. But guess what? Man, he know how to do it. How long Noah had to wait? Move 500. You know what I'm saying? Move 500. We be dealing with stuff for 3 weekends. You know what I'm talking about? We be dealing with stuff for, you know what I'm saying, a couple years. How long I gotta put up with this? I don't know, maybe 500. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little 500. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it goes. What we have to remind ourselves is y'all ain't stopped seeing us. You know what I'm saying? He ain't stopped protecting us. He ain't stopped paying attention to what's going on. He ain't stopped controlling it. All we gotta do is say, okay, cool. Now that I know y'all got that part, let me make sure I focus on my. Because he gave me one part. He gave me a small part, little tiny part. And I want to nail it. I want to nail it. I want to get it right. This is the next chapter, chapter 7. Give me about verse 13. It's Genesis chapter 7, verse 13.
On the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark.
Watch this.
They and every beast after his kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort.
Mm-hmm.
And they went in unto Noah into the
Look,
ark.
they went in unto Noah on the ark, talking about the animals. But the animals came to him. It's details like this that you have to understand. When you are standing with the Most High God where he wants you to be, the people and the animals will come to you. You don't have to go chasing and pulling and tugging and dragging. Everybody knows whether they make you believe it or not. Everybody gonna make you believe that I had no idea what was going on. You're a righteous man. I had no idea. I couldn't understand. I didn't know that you guys were really teaching the truth. They look, people will try to throw you off and make you feel like everybody is clueless. They just woke up today and noticed that you've been doing videos for the past 15 years teaching the same thing. That's how they will make you feel. But let me tell you something. That's not your fight. Your fight is not to get them to admit that, yeah, actually, I've been peeking in on your videos here and there, and it's been tugging at me. Honestly, I don't care. Me personally, I just don't care. You know what I'm focused on? My little part. My part is teach. Help out my brother, love my brother, do whatever we got to do. But that's my part. Your part is whatever your journey is, whatever the Most High God got with you, that's cool. Let me know if I can help. But when you let me know, guess where you going to come? Right to the ark. When you want to get on the board, you going to come right to where we are. Because I'm on board with the man. I'm trying to be wherever salvation is. So now, it don't make sense for me to leave salvation because in my mind, that's what I got to do to save you. Doesn't make sense. No, you stay your butt right where you are because that's your job and that's your order. And you follow your darn order. And you let everybody else make their way in the same way you made your way. And that's what happens. And watch what happens next. The animals made their way to Noah. Noah wasn't out there, hey, go grab a dog. We need one more dog. Go grab. Nah, man, he stood his butt there. And next thing you know, they came. Read it again. Watch where they came.
They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird after every sort. And they went went unto Noah into the ark, two and two of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they went in male and female of all flesh, as God commanded him. And Yahuah shut him in.
And who shut him in?
Yahuah shut him in.
Man, please. I ain't even got to close the door. After that, Yahuah looked at it and was like, all right, that's everybody. You know what I'm saying? I like to believe he blew the door. You know what I'm saying? Then the wind hit the door and it just closed up. All right, we good. You don't even got to shut the door. Look, Yah knows how to protect us. All we got to do is be standing in the right spot. And I say that spiritually. Spiritually, we just have to be in the right spiritual position. And if we're in the right spiritual position, in other words, we're not sinning, we don't got evil in our hearts, we focus on doing the will of the Most High God, He will close the door to all of the foolishness that's about to happen outside. After that, the man baptized the whole world. Ain't that what it say? Keep going, watch this. Ain't that what it say?
And the flood was 40 days upon the earth. The waters increased
What
and
baptized mean?
submerged.
When you baptize, that means when you got a submarine, you know what that really is? A baptomarine. Ain't nothing with it. A submarine ain't nothing but a baptomarine, right? Because it's submerged. That's all it means. Every time that submarine go under, baptized. Every time it come back up, oh, look at that resurrection, right? And that's what's happening. Watch what the book say about the earth. Watch this. Keep going.
And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered.
He said the mountains were covered. What's higher than the mountain? Whole thing underwater. All the land underwater. The whole earth was baptized. And when you baptize the earth, when you baptize you, what's happened? What does that represent?
Dying.
Dying. Grab 1 Peter chapter 3. Let's see what the baptism represents. This is 1 Peter chapter 3, what verse? 20, I think. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 20. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 20.
Which sometimes were disobedient when once the long suffering of God waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls were saved by water.
Mm-hmm.
The like figure whereunto even baptism does also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward God, by the resurrection of Yahuah the Messiah, who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of God, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him.
When we get dunked underwater, it's the putting away the filth of the flesh and putting our good conscience towards the Most High God. What you think happened when Noah got dunked under the water? He came up in an ark. And guess what happened to all flesh on earth?
Yeah.
So on earth, it was the killing of the flesh and Noah's good conscience towards the Most High God. The whole earth got baptized. That's how our mind has to be now, that we have to baptize ourselves and we judge the earth. We judge our flesh. Because otherwise the Most High God is going to judge it for us. Let's go back to Genesis 10. This is Genesis chapter 10. Give me verse 8. We got to talk about Nimrod. It's the man. He's the first unifier, right? We had unity long ago under Nimrod, but it wasn't unity according to the way of the Most High God. It's important. Unity is important, but we can't have unity except the unity that the Most High God calls for. Right? This is Genesis chapter 10. What verse I say?
8.
Verse 8. Genesis chapter 10, verse 8. Watch the book say.
And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahuah. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahuah.
And what did he do?
In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and
Look,
Erech.
the first of his kingdom was what?
Babel.
Okay, and what else?
And Erech.
Uh-huh.
And Asad. And Calneh in the land of Shinar.
So he had a whole lot going on, this man, right? So now we gotta make sure we understand Babel, because listen, when Nimrod was running the show, he set it up and he was the leader of Babel. But it didn't start off as Babel. That's not how it started off. That's how the Most High God made it Babel. But it didn't start off as Babel because everything was all one. Jump down to verse 24. Everything was all one at first. Everybody spoke one language. Everybody was on one page. Everybody was in one part of the land. In fact, all the land was even there. It was just one big piece of land. Everything was just there, right? Watch what happened in verse 24. Most High God cleaned all that up. Watch this.
And Arpachshad begot. You want the same chapter?
Yeah, verse 24.
And Arpachshad begot Selah. And Selah begot Eber. And unto Eber were born 2 sons.
Look, Eber had 2 sons. What's their
The
name?
name of the one was Peleg.
One of their names was Peleg. Watch what Peleg, what that name mean.
For in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan.
Notice what the Most High God ain't tell us about nothing about in his days for anybody else listed here. But it's stopping to tell us about Nimrod and give us details about Nimrod, and it give us details about Peleg. Why? Because it's important content. Anytime that we read genealogies and it's stopping to do something different, it's giving you some, whether you know what it is or not, you may not, it may be years for you make a connection. But whether you know it or not, it's giving you important context that you're probably going to need later to understand. He's telling you Peleg, man, look, during his days, the name Peleg means division, right? So it's saying during Peleg's days, that's when what was divided?
For in his days the earth was divided. His brother's name was
Remember,
Joktan.
earth means land. The land was divided. You kind of imagine, like if you look at a map, it kind of looked like South America kind of could fit in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And maybe North America could fit in the spot that's between Africa and Europe. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of look at it like, man, this kind of look like puzzle pieces that we could kind of put together. Well, that's because all of it was one. But Nimrod led all the people as one and said, you know what? I don't think we should spread out. Grab chapter 11 real quick. Nimrod said, I'm not down with spreading out. This chapter 11, verse 4.
This page ripped out.
Chapter 11 ripped out? Okay. Nimrod came up with a great idea of like, hey, I'll tell you what, let's start building a city. What you got? No. If we obey God, yeah. So whoever obeys God is one in his eye. But there's a lot of people that don't obey God, so it's not everybody. But Nimrod, he had in his mind, let's build a city. He was a great hunter. He was a great man. So he said, look, man, let's build a city. So they start building this city. And watch what happened. This is Genesis chapter 11, verse 4.
And they said, Go and tell her, and they said, Go and let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And Yahuah came down to see the city of the
You see what
tower.
his goal was? He said, let's make a name for ourselves, or else we will mess up and be scattered abroad across the whole earth. What did Yah command? Oh, we got grab Genesis chapter 9. Give me verse 1. This is Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. Watch what we got. Then we're gonna come back to Genesis chapter 11, verse 5. This is Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. Then we're gonna go right back to Genesis chapter 11, verse 5. The sister asked, she said, did I say Nimrod was the father of unity? I don't think I said that, but I mean, yeah, he is. Right? Nimrod is the father of unity. The unity that ain't according to the word, the unity and rebellion of the Most High God. Right? Anytime that there's unity and rebellion of the Most High God, guess what's about to follow?
Destruction.
Some confusion. You know what I'm saying? Some mess up. What happened when Constantine got all the different Christian churches together and all the bishops together? He set them down. They had a council of Nicaea. And you know what his purpose was there? He said, look, man, it's too much division. He said everybody needs to get on the same page. We about to sit here and we gonna spend, it's a whole conference. We gonna talk about all of the doctrines and we gonna settle out which ones is real and which ones is not. And he came to it and he said, these are the ones that are approved Christian doctrine, which led to what?
Catholicism?
The Catholic Church. You know what Catholic means? Universal. What's the key phrase in universal?
Yeah.
Uni. They unified. They thought they was unifying religion. They put the universal church. That's what it is. The universal church is unified. And guess what? If you said anything against it, what's what happened to you? Not only if we gonna kill you, but we might knock off your whole darn city. We not playing with y'all. There's only one way. It's unity. And what happened to the Catholic Church? You had a bunch of different churches called what?
Christianity.
Right. Yeah, you had the Protestants. And so they kept coming up with different doctrines and different doctrines and different doctrines and different doctrines. And now it's split up into confusion of 33,000 different denominations. Why? Because the Most High God said, oh, you think y'all unified? Y'all might just accomplish something. You know, let's go and split this up. Let's have some confusion. Let's add a little bit. I want you to believe that. 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 And scatter. Scatter. And y'all go to America. I want y'all to go there. I want y'all to go there. Scatter. Send it all over. All y'all believe something different, please, because y'all are crazy. Anytime that there's unity against the Most High God, or a little bit of confusion gonna follow. Keep going.
And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moves upon the earth and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you, even as the
Right? So
green
you
herb.
good. So he said, be fruitful and multiply in what the earth?
Replenish the earth.
No, I didn't say replenish. In verse 9?
Yeah, and replenish the earth.
It do say replenish?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, yeah, it should say fill. Yeah, if you do the translation of it, it'll say fill. I thought in the King James version it said fill
In another
on that one.
place. In another place I think it says fill.
But yeah, so that's the commandment. So in Nimrod in verse 5, go back to Genesis chapter 11 verse 5. In verse 5, it tells them very clearly. He says, unless we be scattered. In other words, we not trying to fill the earth. We trying to all stick together here, make a name for ourselves, because we don't want to be scattered abroad. We don't want to fill up the earth. Right? And watch how the Most High God feel about that.
Yahuah came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And Yahuah said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do.
Listen, there is power in unity. It's not enough power that's going to stop the Most High God. When the Most High God see you doing it, guess what he going to do? All right, let's break that up. Shake them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Shake them up. They getting too good at what they doing. No, shake them up. You're not going to stop the Most High God. But I want you to know there is power in unity. That same power exists when the Most High God approves it. If we unify in his word, he's not going to break it up. All we got to do is want to do it. Keep going. Watch this.
Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So Yahuwah scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yahuwah did there confound the language of all the earth. And
So
from thence did Yahuwah scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth.
So that's during the time of Peleg, right? That's when he start breaking up all the continents and start splitting everything apart, because now I want you to speak this language, I want you to speak that language. But before that, everybody spoke what language?
One language.
But what language was it?
Universe.
I'm gonna tell you what language it was. This is Isaiah. Give me Isaiah chapter 19. It's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. After that, we got to get Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. It's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. Let me show y'all what language they're speaking. A lot of people don't realize it. Everybody was speaking one language. These people will tell you a lie. If you Google right now, what was the first language of the world? They're gonna tell you this lie. They're gonna tell you probably like, I don't know. I don't know what the actual answer gonna be. You gonna Google it? Go ahead and Google it. Tell me what it say. These people gonna tell you a lie. These people lie so good. They don't want to do nothing to give God glory, so they try to obfuscate the truth as best they can. These people will technically your butt to darn death on a lie. Well, technically, you know what I'm saying? What is that? Sumerian. So look, they gonna say Sumerian is the first language ever, right? Watch the book say. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16.
In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahuwah of hosts,
Watch
which he
this.
shakes over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that makes mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of Yahuwah of hosts, which he has determined against it.
Watch it.
In
Watch
that
it.
day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt
In that day, there should be 5 cities in the land of Egypt doing what?
speak the language of Canaan.
Speak the language of who?
Canaan.
Okay, keep going.
And swear to Yahuah of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. In that day shall there be an altar to Yahuah in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahuah of hosts in the land of Egypt.
So now, if you remember, when Abraham was walking around and he was talking to Canaanites, remember he was in the land of Canaan. At any time, did it say that they had to get an interpreter or speak a different language? The Hebrew language and the Canaan language was the same, right? Now, fast forward. When Joseph became second in command in Egypt and his brothers came to him, how did they speak? Huh? They spoke through an interpreter. Joseph had to speak to him through an interpreter. The land of Egypt did not speak the same language of the land of Canaan. That's why he's telling us now, grab Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. That's why he's telling us now there will be 5 cities in Egypt in that day. He's talking about in the resurrection. Once the kingdom is set up, the land will be expanded and Egypt will be a part of our kingdom. It's going to be Egypt and Assyria and Israel. All of it will be a part of what we have going on. It's going to be widely expanded and all the people are going to be unified. He's telling you Egypt is going to speak the same language and it's going to be the language of Canaan, which is Hebrew. The Canaanites, the Hebrews spoke the same language. You know why? Because everybody spoke the same language except for those that got scattered out. The ones that got scattered out had to be in different areas. So anyone who was in the same area, that is where we had. All the rest of them that got scattered out, yeah, of course you're going to speak Russian, you way out there. Get your Gentile butt way over there. The Canaanites are Gentiles too, but guess what? You here with us. You get to speak our language. Right? That's how this whole thing played out. So the Sumerians are really the Babylonians. So when they say the first language Samaria, you go look into it, guess what? That's the same language as Canaanites. Right now, is a girl that work at my job. She's Pakistani. And she came and she said, she was like, yeah, I don't even know the language of my people. I said, what is it? She's like, it's called Urdu. I said, oh, Urdu. I was like, never heard of it. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yeah. She was like, we should learn it. I was like, yeah, okay, well, tell me how to say something in it. I was like, how do you say hello? She is like, Pikum Shalom. I was like, you mean like the Muslims? She's like, yeah, it's very similar to Farsi. I was like, oh, because you know, Farsi is very similar to Hebrew. Oh, because they're all the same language. They all come from the same language. So all this stuff, a lot of people try to confuse you. It's because it's like technically it's this. And they say, well, that was the Phoenician. Whenever you hear them say Phoenician something, you ever heard somebody say, well, no, they weren't speaking Hebrew, they were speaking Aramaic. Y'all stop lying. These people are speaking Hebrew. Y'all talking about different dialects and different little twists and changes on the language. It's the same root language. You don't know nothing about. If you come up to me talking about something, see, actually, at that time in Israel, they actually didn't speak Hebrew. They spoke Aramaic. I'm done talking to you. I was like, your butt don't know nothing. You ain't never read the book. So when the man, look, when Pilate wrote King of the Jews, he wrote it in 3 languages. What were they? Hebrew, Latin, and Greek. Where was Aramaic? I've never seen that in the book. I've never seen nothing in the book say he wrote Aramaic. If at that time Pilate knew they were speaking Aramaic, why would he confuse them and say, I'm going to just write it. I'm going to write it in the other 2 languages that everybody understands. Guess which one I'm going to skip? Aramaic. I'm just going to go right to Hebrew. These people will make a fool out of you listening with they smart butts. They so darn smart, they darn stupid. Hebrew is the first darn language, which was the language of Canaan, which was the language of the early Babylonians, of Nimrod, which was the language of all the world. Then he scattered they butt. That's why they telling you right now in South America, you got Hebrew writing. Why you think you got Hebrew writing? Because they butt got scattered at the beginning. When the man split up the world, he got over there. What you think they gonna write? Man, they already start writing it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, they wrote it before. They wrote it in there, they writing it, and then everything gets split up, and then they language. Now they over there speaking Spanish. Like, damn, I don't even remember Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Then one day, then what Most High God did like this. Well, he needs to get a soul. You know what I'm saying? You know, he needs to get a soul. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know what just happened. I was writing mid-sentence, I'm writing in Hebrew. You know, Hebrew, you got to write to the left. I'm writing in Hebrew mid-sentence, and all of a sudden, dang, an accent ended up on top of my end. That's an Inya. Ain't that what they call it, an Inya?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an Inya. You know what I'm saying? How you turn a Hebrew, you know what I'm saying? You turn the Tav into an Inya quick. Mid-sentence, they writing that thing. Because that's how it is. He snapped it and just scattered it. And now they got writings over there. They probably don't know what the writings say they self. They looking at it like, what is this? I've never seen it. That's how it works. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Watch the book say.
Therefore, wait ye upon me, says Yahuah, until the day that I rise up to pray, to the
Mm-hmm.
prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may
What he gonna do?
assemble the kingdoms,
And he gonna do
to
what with them?
pour upon them my indignation,
That's
even
it.
all my fierce anger.
I'm gonna separate them from y'all. And once I take care of the nations, guess what he gonna do next?
For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahuah to serve him with one consent.
With one what?
Consent.
He gonna bring back unity. The whole plan from the very beginning is unity. But not unity just for the sake of being on the same page. Unity to be on the same page with the Most High God. Anything unlike that is going to be devoured. And once he's done with that, he's going to say, okay, I kind of like what Nimrod was doing. I just don't like the way he was going about it. So now I'm going to give y'all back one language now that I know y'all going to obey me. And you get one language. And it's likely going to be what Isaiah told us, the language of Cain. And it's going to be a pure version of it, not this Yiddish or not this different stuff. This we got like from what I can see, two forms of Hebrew that people are, primarily two forms of Hebrew that people are pushing on us. They're pushing on us the Yiddish version that came from the Ashkenazis, right? Which we taught them Hebrew. They're, what I'm saying, they are in Europe and they mix it with all their languages, and so it gets defiled. And then we got the African Hebrew, where we went into Africa and we lost our history there, and we started to assimilate to some of their people and went into a language that they call Ivwe, right? And that's the language of the Igbos. And they while the Igbos say this is the pure language, this is it, it's clearly not, right? It's clearly not the pure language. But those are the two versions, two corrupted forms, corrupted by Gentiles, corrupted by our captivity, right? But one day, the Most High God will, He restore to us a pure version of our language. And it's not just on our language, it's the language of all the world. It's the language that it began with. It's the language that He spoke with Adam with. This is the language, right? All we gotta do is wait. All the separating is gonna happen. It's gonna happen in due time. All we gotta do is stay focused and wait for the language to come and wait for the unity to come. Any question? I think the sister got a question. Any question? She said, "God, her Father, and you okay?" She said, Genesis 11:6. Is this similar to the Garden of Eden in that they were moving away from Yah's plan? Yeah, everything from Eden. Yeah, everything from Eden is a constant progression of that movement away from God's plan. Yeah, it's a constant progression. So you got two things happening. You got us constantly rebelling against the Most High God, and then you got the Most High God managing that rebellion to at least get to Yahushua. And then once he get to Yahushua, then he like, okay, Satan, you can live down there now. You know what I'm saying? Like at first, he just managing like we just gotta get to Yahushua. Then after that, he said, all right, you can have a Satan. You know what I'm saying? Now, do your most. And when it's all said and done, I'll fix it. Because once you get to Yahuah, I have enough to fix it. I got what I need to fix it now. Now do whatever you want to do. I don't care nothing about that stuff. I'll resurrect whoever died, I'm gonna resurrect them anyway. You know what I'm saying? The way he looking at it look, we good. Do your worst. Any other questions? Don't look like it. All right, let's pray out.